Good morning. You have a sheet of paper with you called the incense offering. Just from our seated position, let's recite that offering. And together we say, in gratitude, we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. Please stand and turn to page 7. And together we will recite the 3 refuges. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, a living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the 3 jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. If you turn your book over, you come to the Heart Sutra, the Prajnaparamita, and we will sing the chant. I don't sing, I just make noise. But we will do the title at the beginning and at the end. Dharma Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, from the deep practice of Prajna Paramita, perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, no extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna, paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas, past, present, and future, through faith in prajna, paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna, paramita, is the great Dharma, the radiant fearless mantra, the utmost supreme mantra, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna, paramita. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Dharma prajna paramita Vedaya Sutra. Please be seated. I do not know how women in the old days wore these long dresses. They're killing themselves. I have a few things to speak about before I speak about what I want to speak about. Number one, speaking about dresses, robes, you notice I am wearing my robe again. Last week I spoke about how I had decided not to wear these robes anymore because I felt I was there was building a wall, a separation between us. And I asked for your input, and the Sangha has spoken. I received during the past week texts and emails, even a phone call and face-to-face discussions. And you want the robe for a variety of reasons. Within,
at the same time I stopped wearing the robe, I also started talking about one aspect of the Heart Sutra. And there are a lot of, I think, 4 new people in here today. I've never been here before. And Mahaprajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra means the great perfection of wisdom heart scripture. Sutra is scripture. And the word Prajnaparamita turns up in here a lot. And that means basically the perfection of wisdom. We're not putting our faith in a person or a deity. We're putting our trust and our faith in wisdom. And the Buddha has given us the tools and offered us a practice to help us find, let me get rid of that word, to help us realize, to help us experience wisdom. Now, there's a phrase in here that is kind of confusing. In the first stanza, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, there she is again. The Bodhisattva of great compassion from the deep practice of the perfection of wisdom perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. What are the 5 skandhas? I have been practicing Buddhism for over 25 years now, and I could give you an intellectual answer, which I'm going to, but it's something we have to experience in a personal way. And if I'm not speaking, I understand it, but when I try to put it in words, that's where I kind of confuse myself. I don't know if you ever have that. You know something, but then when you try to explain it, I don't know. Anyway, the 5 skandhas. In the teaching of the Buddha Dharma, the Buddha says does not posit a eternally unchanging personality, a soul, a being. What the Buddha Dharma teaches is that thing we think of as my personality, I'd like to think of it as a filing cabinet filled with all my experiences, and that's kind of what it is. And once this body dies, that filing cabinet falls away with it. But the 5 skandhas are those things that make up every individual. And a skandha is a Sanskrit word that means a heap or a pile. And the first of the 5 skandhas is form. Something that we experience with our eyes, with our nose, with our ears, with our tongue, with our touch. We see, hear, touch, taste, whatever, something, a thing. And then we have a sensation about it. We have a feeling about it. That's the second. The third is that now those feelings create a perception in us, a good perception, a negative perception, a neutral perception. And that creates mental activity. And this can happen within 2 seconds, within a half a second. And we do it constantly all day long. And the last of the skandhas is consciousness. We are aware of something. We have seen, tasted, touched, felt something. And our history, our experience, all tell us what this thing is, what we perceive it to be. And that is what Avalokiteshvara is telling Shariputra, that everything we experience, we filter through our history. In the morning bell chant, there's that great line that says, everything is created by mind alone. So you and I could both see something. You think it's beautiful. I think it's not. We could smell something. You love it. I don't. We could taste something. I love it. You don't. It depends on our history. But none of those skandhas exist in and of themselves. They are all there like everything else because of other conditions, other causes. Any thoughts or questions, or do you have 2 million of them or anything? All right. And just before I start talking, I'm going to talk about duty today. In the 1960s, I never thought I would ever honor that word, but I do. Before I talk about that, I want to talk about some people had asked who have never been here, what do we do when we walk in? You don't really have to do anything. There are some manners or politeness that we observe so that we don't interfere with others. At 9:30, noble silence begins in this Dharma hall so that there are people here sitting in meditation. We're not going to disturb them. Now, you may see when people walk in from either end, they bow. They're not bowing to this wood or to me or anything. They're bowing to the space. This is a sacred space. It's a space where we learn. It's a classroom. Some people, than it was before the pandemic, I think everybody did, but now we have so many, things have changed so much since the pandemic. But a lot of people come in, they will bow to their seat, and then they sometimes bow to the person on either side of them. That's just showing respect. And the last politeness, I guess, bit of Buddha manner, Dharma hall manner, is if Will over there were to walk over here, he would go behind the cushions instead of in front of. He can't help but walk in front of you people along the wall, but he doesn't want to walk here to step between you and the shrine. So that's just some of the things that we do out of concern for others, so we don't interfere with others in their practice. Now, I told you I am wearing the robe again because the Sangha has spoken. And this is the robe I wore at my ordination. And at that day, standing right here, I made a vow to do my very best for the Sangha and for the temple. That is my first duty as a teacher, to do what I can to help you on your walk along the path. And I'm guaranteeing you I have screwed up multiple times, and I will probably again. Just give me a nudge when I do, and I will happily say thank you, because I'm a human being. Now, I said my first duty is to the temple and the Sangha. I have other duties, and we all have duties. There are parents here. Your first duty is to be a parent. Even after your child becomes of age, becomes an adult, then things change a lot. But your first duty to a sub-adult, is that a word? A not adult child, is to prepare them to take care of themselves. That's your first duty. And the reason I emphasize that is because I have come across people who at times have, I don't want to use the word neglect, that's not a good word, but who have put their children secondary to their meditation practice or something. And that, if your meditation is getting, or any part of your practice is getting in the way of your primary duty as a parent, stop and think about that and look at it, because that is your first duty. A husband's first duty is to their spouse. A wife's first duty is to their spouse. Now, you're going to have several first duties here if you're married and you have children. You also have a duty to your parents who raised you, to help them, to repay. I don't like that word either. Forgive me. They brought you into the world. They nurtured you and helped you grow. As they get older, you return that love, that gift. there are sons, there are daughters, there are friends. All of these people have duties. As a sibling, you have a duty to your parents and your other siblings. As a friend, you have a duty to your friend. Now, in the Digha Nikaya, there is a sutra called Sigalaka Sutta or Sigalata Sutra, and it is advice to people. Sigalata was a young man who lived in a village. And one morning, the Buddha is in the neighborhood and he's going out to do his morning begging. And he sees this young man soaking wet. And I don't understand what the Vedic reason for wetting your hair and wetting your clothes to worship, but there must have been. I looked up under Hindu traditions, I just couldn't find anything, but he had wetted his hair and wetted his clothes, and the Buddha understood what this was. So the Buddha, and the young man bowed to the all six directions: north, south, east, west, up, and down. When he was finished, the Buddha asked him, "Why do you do this, young man?" And Sigalakta said, "When my father died, he asked me to every morning go out and honor the six directions. That way, I am honoring all the gods, all the spirits, everywhere. I'm not missing anybody." The Buddha bowed and said, "It's very wise of your father." And he says, but maybe there's a way you can do that a little richer, a little fuller. And he started talking about how each of these directions could represent a different thing instead of a deity. And he said, let the east represent your parents. So when you bow to the east, you are bowing to your parents. You are honoring your parents. I'm trying to find it. I have to read the whole thing. When you bow to the south, you are bowing to your ministers, to your teachers, to those who have helped you along the way. Let that be what you do when you bow to the south. When you bow to the east, let this be to your husband or your wife. When you bow to the west, let this be for friends. When you bow to the nadir, up, down, nadir's down, let this be to your employees. And when you bow to the zenith up here, let this be to those who have walked the path and have achieved it, to the Buddhas, to the all those who have made it across that river. Now, one of the things that I also remembered from this, because I had read the sutra years ago and I haven't looked at it for a while, but it also reminds me of what I do as a teacher. Also, all of us as a practitioner or just as a human being. The Buddha says, sometimes people will say, too late, too cold, too hot, I'm too hungry, I'm overfilled, I'm tired, I'm too awake. So I'm not going to do that until I'm not cold, until I'm not hot. And what he's saying there is, as I said last week, it is so easy to find a reason not to meditate. It is so easy to find a reason not to do what we have to do. I'm tired. I'm full. I'm cold. I am an old man and I don't like the cold anymore. I was born and raised here, but I don't like the cold. And if I use that as an excuse, I wouldn't come out of the house until March or April, probably May actually. But we have got, yeah, I was gonna change that, say me, but no, we have got to get past that. And I'm sure many of you are, but some of us aren't. To stop looking for excuses not to do something, to find reasons to do something. Now, a teacher, myself, like I said, my primary duty is to teach. If I am not practicing that, what I'm teaching, I'm just flapping my jaws. I retired from here, what, a year ago? A little over a year ago? I don't know. But I thought I had worked my life long, time to be lazy, but I realized I didn't like being lazy. And one of the first, second, or third things, or maybe all three of them, I realized was I let things slide. I'm talking about my practice. I'm not going to meditate today. What's the deal? I'm not teaching. I'm not going to read some scripture today. I'm not going to practice with my mala. I'm not. And I went really quick. And luckily, two people said something to me at about the same time I was starting to realize this. And we have to be vigilant. We have to not find reasons not to do it. If you want to be a practitioner, practice. And as I said last week, one of the most important tools the Buddha gave us is meditation. And I'm going to repeat myself again from last week. It is so easy to find reasons not to do it. But your practice is going to suffer. If you don't have an ongoing routine practice, I was going to say daily, but it doesn't have to be daily. I think for a teacher, we have to be daily. And if, I don't know if I'm going to argue with myself or not, but I understand, like I said, okay, I just talked about the duties of a parent, duties of a spouse. Maybe a parent with a newborn child could do 2 or 3 times a week, but increase that once that child gets more and more independent. But I cannot emphasize the importance of that practice of meditation. We learn to observe, we learn to notice, we learn to experience the growth and the coming of something. We need to create a mature spiritual practice. And that can only happen if we act in an adult, mature way. And as I said, there are other ways to meditate other than sitting on the cushion. Remember the tangerine meditation, walking meditation, sitting in the woods, listening to the wind, just the wind, nothing else. Don't think about anything else. But if you if you do some research, you may find some forms of meditation that are very easy. No, forget that. I'm sorry. Not very easy, but more aligned with your personality. Yeah. Any questions? Any thoughts? Yes.
I've been thinking about different parks and stuff that I can go to in the springtime. Just like that. But in my head, I was like, I could, do things there, but you can just like chill and experience what's going on. I've been trying to map out the places nearby where I can that are good for that. For the reasons that you
I apologize. I should have given you the mic, but I'll repeat. She said that she was examining parks. This is for the YouTube people. Examining parks in the area to find a place to chill out, to meditate. And we have a book discussion, by the way, on Thursday mornings. And up until winter, last summer, when the coronavirus was really strong, we met 3 different parks. Yeah, 3 different parks. And Riverside is where we started, but Riverside is right across the river from the highway. That it's a beautiful park, but we always had that highway drone. Then we went to some other parks, which were much better. Now, to begin the meditation practice, it's very important to have that stillness. There is a monastery in Thailand. I'm trying to think of where. I can't remember where, but they have retreats for lay people, and their meditation hall is above a large chicken coop, and they do that specifically for the noise. If you can sit there mindfully, listening to all the chickens down there gaggling together, that's good, because in our practice, you go on retreat, and you go on a retreat deep in the forest somewhere, a nice quiet monastery, nice quiet temple, and it's wonderful, it's warm, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. But that's not life. We go there and we recharge ourselves, but we have to come back into the world. And there are condos upstairs, and once in a while during meditation, we will hear people vacuuming or moving some furniture. We had a hockey player up there. He used to practice or something on the weekend. I don't know. We have a coffee shop right here with their machines are right here. They make espressos or cappuccinos. We hear it a lot. To begin a meditation practice, it's very important to have that silence. But the tool, the art of meditation, is to learn to be aware of our breath or whatever is our center, no matter what's going on around us. And that can be difficult because sometimes you get involved in, without even realizing, you get involved in what's going on. When that happens, it's just like when a thought comes. Bring your attention back to your breath. We have skateboarders in the summer. We have buses and sirens. Hear them, acknowledge them, return to your breath. Okay? Will, would you do the lights? We will now practice meditation. There's a tradition in this temple. You don't have to do it, but some people have noticed that when the bell is sounded, we put our hands like this, called hapjang, and we leave them there until we no longer hear that, and then we return our hands to this position. And we do that as a reminder that all things are impermanent, because this sound fades away, just like everything will someday stop. and we bow. Did anyone not notice the person walking upstairs? It was perfect timing, wasn't it? Okay, announcements. Masks are required. Anyone feeling unwell should stay away. And we clean and disinfect high touch areas routinely. And some of those people are in here now that do that. So, as I said, on Thursday, we have a Dharma discussion group meets downstairs in the community room. Meditation starts 9:30, 9:35. The discussion is 10. Right now, we're doing the Journals of Thich Nhat Hanh. After this is finished, we'll be doing 12 Steps to a Compassionate Life by Karen Armstrong. We have Buddhist-based recovery meetings, Monday via Zoom, Wednesday at the Al-Anon Club on College, Friday either here at the temple or via Zoom. And the board meets the second Tuesday of each month from 6:15 to 8:15, and downstairs. And all people are welcome to watch or to observe. All right. Yes, ma'am. Oh, here.
Can anybody attend there on Zoom? And so could I pass on my newsletter with the link, or how does that work?
I would contact David Reese because recovery programs are usually anonymous, and I don't know how to answer that.
I'd say anyone's welcome if they're on the stage for recovery.
Yeah, but just to come in to observe for curiosity is.
No,
I know what you're saying, but I would talk to David or something
okay,
because I can't answer that.
thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, yes, it's for yours.
You shut it off.
I did not.
Thank you. Good morning, Sangha. My name is Kate. My Dharma name is Ambo. And I just wanted to give you an update on our pledge drive, which will end February 15th. As most of you know, this temple operates on a donation-only basis, which is in keeping with the Buddhist tradition of dana, or giving and receiving. We just finished our 5th week of the pledge drive. We're at 39% of our goal. We set our goal at $2,000 a month, which would cover our basic operating expenses of rent, utilities, supplies. No one at the temple that provides a service receives any kind of salary or financial, I can't think of the word, compensation. Yes, that's it. So we want to thank everyone who in the past and is continuing to support this temple. Because of you, we can continue to share the Dharma in this community and beyond. Every donation is really important, regardless of how big or small. If you can, please consider increasing your donation or becoming a first-time donor. If you'd like to make a pledge, there are 2 ways you can do that. One is by filling out a pledge form, and those are located at either end of the Dharma hall. When you complete it, just put it in the Dana box. And you can also do an online form, and you can do that through our weekly newsletter, the temple website, which is www.zengr.org/donate. Or if you're on YouTube, it's the bottom of this page. There is a link. Thank you, everyone, for your generosity.
Also downstairs, and I don't know what the protocol is right now. You're going to have to help me, Koshi. We have a boutique, a Buddha boutique, where we sell things. Statues and pictures. Well, no. My question is, because of the pandemic, we have sold to a few people. Could somebody go downstairs and look at it now, and if they wanted to? Anybody wants to buy a trinket, a Buddhist statue or something? Anyway, are we good? Page 7, our clothing got this. Please stand. Did I? I have to get new glasses. I apologize. Page 9. And we say together, for all unskillful action ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddhist teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. Please, you all here, turn this way, you all here, turn this way, and we will bow to each other. Keep warm.